Imagine the sound of a basketball bouncing on hardwood, the echo of a crowd cheering in the Chicago Bulls arena, the voice of a man who became part of the rhythm of the game, the voice of a man who knew what winning felt like, who knew what it felt like to stand on the court with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, who knew what it felt like to win 3 championships, who knew what it felt like to be part of dynasty. A dynasty that changed sports, a dynasty that changed the world. Ronald Stacey King, the former Chicago Bulls player and beloved NBA broadcaster, has died at the age of 59 following a fall at his home on June 7, 2026, a fall that took the life of a man who gave 10 years of his life to the NBA, a man who gave 30 years of his life to the Chicago Bulls, a man who gave 59 years of his life to the fans, to the game, to the family, to everything that mattered. The Chicago Bulls have confirmed his death, but not an official cause, and no medical record has surfaced. ESPN Chicago host David Kaplan reported on Saturday that a fall at home led to King's death, and Kaplan wrote on social media, "Absolutely devastated to hear that Stacey King has passed away at the age of 59 after a fall at his home." While questions remain, the report provides the only public information yet regarding the events that may have contributed to King's death at age 59. Stacey King was born on January 29, 1967, in Lawton, Oklahoma, a small town where the air is thick with dust and the sound of basketball, where a young boy could grow up surrounded by the sound of the game, the sound of the crowd, the sound of victory, the sound of failure, the sound of everything that made him who he would become, who he would be, who he would always be. He first made his mark on the national stage at the University of Oklahoma, where he developed into one of the most dominant players in college basketball, a player who knew what it felt like to work, to train, to fight, to win, to lose, to live, to be everything that mattered. His NBA career began in 1989, a decade in the league that would take him to the Chicago Bulls, where he would play 438 regular season games, averaging 6.4 points and 3 rebounds while playing nearly 17 minutes per contest. A player who knew what it felt like to be part of something bigger than himself. A player who knew what it felt like to win 3 consecutive NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls in 1991, 1992, and 1993. A player who knew what it felt like to be part of a dynasty that changed sports, that changed the world, that changed everything. After Chicago, he had stints with the Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, Boston Celtics, and Miami Heat before retiring. After hanging up his playing boots, he transitioned into broadcasting and carved out a second career as one of the most recognizable and well-liked announcers in the sport. He became the lead color commentator for the Chicago Bulls, known for his vibrant personality and deep connection with fans. He remained connected to the game through coaching in the Continental Basketball Association after leaving the court, but broadcasting became his new home, his new life, his new everything that mattered. Stacey King was married to his wife Debbie King in 2017, and they had been married for 9 years, a marriage that was the foundation of his life, the foundation of his work, the foundation of his happiness, the foundation of his hope, the foundation of his belief that love could survive anything, that love could survive death, that love could survive loss, that love could survive everything. He was previously married to Lisa King, and they're the parents of his firstborn son, Eric Alexander King, who turned 30 in October 2021, as well as Garrett, Brandon, and Mason. He had 4 sons total, and he generally kept his family life private, but he occasionally shared photos and messages about his children on social media. A man who knew what it felt like to be a father, to be a husband, to be a family, to be everything that mattered. His estimated net worth was approximately $2 million, a figure that reflected his career as an NBA player, as a broadcaster, as a coach, as a father, as a husband, as a family, as everything that mattered, but the number never mattered to him, never defined him, never measured what he was doing, never measured what he believed in, never measured the life he was living, the family he was building, the legacy he was creating, the impact he was having on the world, on the fans, on the game, on the people, on the culture, on the stories, on the lives that he touched, that he changed, that he saved. Stacey King's lifestyle reflected a man who remained deeply connected to Chicago basketball culture throughout his life, who was known as a beloved figure in Chicago basketball history, who generally kept his family life private, who maintained a low-profile personal life despite his public broadcasting career, who was recognized for his vibrant personality and warm connection with fans, a man who knew what it felt like to be loved, to be respected, to be remembered, to be everything that mattered. The Chicago Bulls announced King's death on June 7, 2026, expressing that they were absolutely devastated by his passing, and he is survived by his wife Debbie and his 4 sons, a family that loved him, that worked with him, that created with him, that lived with him, that was with him until they were not. He gave 10 years of his life to the NBA, 30 years of his life to the Chicago Bulls, 59 years of his life to the fans, to the game, to the family, to everything that mattered, and he will be remembered for the sound of his voice, the sound of his words, the sound of his life, the sound of his everything that mattered. If Stacey's story, the image of a man who gave 10 years of his life to the NBA, 30 years of his life to the Chicago Bulls, 59 years of his life to the fans, to the game, to the family, to everything that mattered, moved you, then please consider giving this video a like and sharing it with someone who might need a reminder that the most important things in life are not what you own, what you achieve, what you create, but who you love, how much you love, how deeply you love, how much your love matters, how much your love changes the world, how much your love changes lives, how much your love changes everything. If you want to stay connected to stories like this one, stories of people who have left their lives behind in the quiet corners of the court, the arena, the broadcast booth, the page, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode.